Hello everyone, it's me, Aaron, Professor Thorgy, your guide to all things geeky, and you know, January on this channel is a special time of the year in which you know what? You've heard this twice already this week, blah blah blah, you all know why you're here. This is my top 10 most anticipated movies of 2017. Now, like with any of my top 10s, before we begin, a few honorable mentions. And when it comes to my most anticipated movies of 2017, I have 4 honorable mentions. Justice League, Ghost in the Shell, Power Rangers, and Stephen King's It. I am indeed looking forward to each of these movies, because when they come out, it means we can finally move on with our lives. I wouldn't exactly say I'm excited for any of these films, more of in that cautious hesitance, calm before the storm phase right now. So when they come out, they'll either be surprisingly good, or they'll be exactly what we thought they were going to be, and we can deal with it, and then move on with our lives. They're kind of like the last 4 films that really should have come out in 2016 to just cap off that crap year. But who knows, maybe they will be a delightful surprise. Either way, I just want them here and gone already. Alright, let's kick it off at number 10 with Life. Now, if you've watched this channel for long enough, then you know that I'm a bit of a horror movie fan. And my favorite type of horror movie is the type where they take our characters and they isolate them. Where they put them in a place where they can't escape, where they can't go for help. You know, sending them out in the woods, or in a cabin, or at the top of a mountain. Just someplace that's really isolated. Well, you know what place is really isolated? Space. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why the first Alien film is one of my favorite horror films of all time, and this new film, Life, seems to be trying to take that same approach. It's about an international space crew that is receiving the first sample of life found on Mars. And they're all looking at this thinking, oh my goodness, this is going to be groundbreaking, everybody's going to want to claim responsibility for this. But then that sample starts to grow, and it starts chasing them down, and they're trapped on that spaceship. And watching that trailer kind of brought back some of those old Alien vibes, but I also really like this little space madness vibe that I'm getting from it. And not just because Jake Gyllenhaal is in there, and he apparently can't not play crazy people now, but as you're watching it, it does give you that feeling that, oh man, whoever is the first one to claim that they found this, they're going to be famous. Their country is going to be able to claim that they were the first country to find life in space. This is going to drive a couple of them nuts, being that far away, that isolated for that long. Suddenly that starts to get into their head. So you know there's going to be people turning against each other up there on that spaceship. It throws a great new twist on there where it's not just going to be the monster in space chasing them down, but each other. So yeah, I am really excited for this. As I said, it gives me that vibe that the original Alien film gave me. Speaking of that, at number 9, Alien Covenant. Now, this is Ridley Scott returning to the Alien franchise, and last time he was here, he brought us Prometheus, which a lot of people really did not like. I thought it was full of plot holes and a little bit weird, but the horror side of that film I actually thought was still pretty darn effective. It let me know that Ridley Scott still knows how to direct a really tense scene, and it did leave me curious, how the heck did this film connect to the Alien franchise? So just as a big lore junkie and just someone who kind of loves the Alien universe, I can't lie, I am really curious to see how these films connect, and this is supposed to be the movie that ties them both together. Plus, it is going to show us the aliens in a setting we've never really seen. We've seen them on spaceships, we've seen them on a prison planet, we've seen them on some big civilized planet. This is going to be them out in the wilderness. There's a scene of these people just out there in what looks like a giant nature reserve with the aliens hunting them down. That actually could be kind of cool. That could actually be kind of a new thing that you do with this franchise. So yeah, I'm still a little bit hesitant about it. I still have a couple of questions that trailer raised that made me wonder if it's going to be as great as I hope it is. But I still hope it's going to be great, so I kind of want to put it on this list anyways. At number 8 is Dunkirk. Now, I'm not going to lie. If this film wasn't being directed by Christopher Nolan, I would have looked at that trailer and gone, that looks really darn cool, but I don't know if I'm that interested in it. You know, nothing against World War II films, but I've seen a lot of World War II films. I don't exactly have a need to watch another one even if that trailer did look damn good. However, the fact that it is Christopher Nolan working on this, someone who I have come to trust over the years, yeah, it does make me interested in this film. It makes me want to see what he's going to do when he isn't working in the science fiction or fantasy or superhero department. What is he going to be able to do when he brings that unique visual style of his to real world events, to World War II? I kind of want to see what happens. And speaking of things related to DC Comics, at number 7, Wonder Woman. Okay, I'm just gonna put all my cards on the table right now. I'm just gonna let you guys know my thoughts on the Wonder Woman film and my hopes and dreams for it right now. As you guys know, when it comes to the DC Cinematic Universe, I think that it is a, how can I put this politely, garbage fire that walks like a man. I think that it is just a wave of destruction that is just destroying every single one of these characters, and nothing they have shown me for Justice League or Aquaman or any of their other films have made me think that they're going to turn this around. Except for Wonder Woman. I look at the upcoming Wonder Woman film and I go, okay, I know that Snyder came up with the story for this film, but other people are working on it. That's all he did. He is not writing the story, he's not directing the film. Goyer is not involved in any way, shape, or form. In fact, Jeff Johns, one of the best writers over at DC Comics, who truly does understand these characters, came in here and took the story after Snyder came up with it, and he's been the one working on it from this point on. And yes, I did think that the first trailer that they put out looked kind of bland, and it looked way too dark and gritty, and way too just washed out in its colors, just like all the other DC films, and that did make me nervous. But the second trailer was amazing. I love the second trailer. And yes, I am fully aware this is exactly what I said about Suicide Squad. And it's kind of what I also said about the Batman vs. Superman trailers and the Man of Steel trailers. I think they all started off bad and they eventually got good. However, I'm still holding out hope. If there is any film in this franchise that can turn this slow motion car wreck around, it's Wonder Woman. So yes, I want this movie to come in here and show the other films how it's done. I want this movie to come in here and turn this whole train wreck around. But at the same time, I really, really hope it's good because it's Wonder Woman. It's one of the most iconic superheroes out there, but she has never, ever, ever gotten her own live-action film. She's one of the most important fictional characters to young girls out there all across the world. They deserve to look up at the big screen and see a strong, confident female superhero standing up there in the lead of her own movie, and this is the one you have to get right. So DC, get this right. I'm begging you. Moving along, at number 6, War for the Planet of the Apes. I was blown away by Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Nobody expected that to be good. Who the heck was even asking for a prequel to Planet of the Apes? Yet they came in here and knocked it out of the park. They made it one of the best films in that entire franchise, and then they decided, well, we're coming back with Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. And I was like, oh god, no, you did it right. Leave it alone. Don't touch this again. And they made another great movie. In fact, they kind of made the Dark Knight of the Planet of the Apes franchise. I thought that was a great next film to add to this. So this is going to complete the Planet of the Apes prequel trilogy, which is a sentence I never thought I was ever going to say. I hope they can continue it. I know it is rare. It is so rare to make a trilogy where everybody pretty much universally agrees they're all great. But at the moment, I have faith in this franchise. If there's any franchise out there that could pull off the trilogy hat trick, at the moment, this is our best shot. Speaking of films that did not pull off the trilogy hat trick, at number 5, Logan. Now, we all know that the Wolverine movie franchise has kind of been garbage. The first one was terrible. Second one was passable. It was alright. It was decent enough. But this is going to be the last one. And say what you will about those previous two Wolverine films, Hugh Jackman has really brought a lot of life and a lot of character to the role of Wolverine. Nobody thought this guy was going to make that good of a Wolverine, and yet he has come in here and kind of made it impossible for us to picture anyone else in that role. So this is going to be his send-off. This is going to be his final film, and I actually love what I have seen of it so far. I love that it looks like it's going to be a quieter film. A film that speaks more about his character rather than going around just chopping up other mutants. I love that it's going to be more of a personal story. I love how pained and tortured he is making Logan look. And yeah, man, I can't lie. The song in that trailer was perfect. Sometimes that's all you need to sell a movie, is just to have Johnny Cash come in here and play Hurt. That is my instant go-to push here to make me cry button. So yeah, I can't lie. Them just putting that in the trailer was kind of enough to get me excited for this film. But there's one other thing that got me excited for this movie, which is that I've been saying from day one, if you're going to make a Wolverine solo film, it has to be rated R. You cannot make a movie about Wolverine and have it be PG-13. The dude's superpower is he stabs people and then gets stabbed himself and heals back from it in really bloody, gruesome details. If you were going to make an accurate representation of the Wolverine comics, it would have to be rated R. And there's a brief second in one of the trailers where you see him stabbing a dude in the head, and it made me realize, oh my god, they might actually do it. This might actually be rated R. And after the success of Deadpool, I'd be shocked if it wasn't. So it looks like if this is going to be his last film, it might actually be the first accurate Wolverine movie. At number 4 is Spider-Man Homecoming, and I know a lot of you might be asking, hey, Spider-Man is your favorite hero, you love the Marvel films, why is this not number 1? Why is this not higher on your list? Listen, I don't need to come in here and tell you guys why I'm excited for this film. I did a whole trailer reaction, which I broke down everything about that trailer reaction, told you how excited I am. Plus, as I just mentioned, Spider-Man is my favorite hero. I love all the Marvel films. I think that they truly understand these characters. I think the few minutes we got of him in Civil War is the best on-screen live-action Spider-Man we have ever gotten in a movie. I cannot wait to see him get his own film. However, I can't bump it higher than number 4 simply because I can't lie to you guys. Marvel has been on a roll. They have been doing incredibly well. I still stand by this statement. I don't think Marvel has made a bad film yet. They've made a bunch of meh, a bunch of C-grade films, a bunch of it's passable, who cares? But they have yet to make a bad movie. But eventually they're going to have to. And this is the film they have to get right. Spider-Man has been screwed up on the big screen so many times. I am looking at this like, you have to get this one right. If there's any film that you ever have to get right, it's this one. And I can't help it. There's some little paranoid voice in the back of my head just going, they eventually have to make a bad movie. This is the one they have to get right the most. Oh God. Oh God, is this going to be the moment that they intersect? Maybe it'll be Thor 3. Maybe that'll be the one that's a piece of shit. Although I really doubt it. Have you heard of the director of this film? He has done amazing stuff. I'm actually super excited for that film. It's not on this list, but I am excited for it. Speaking of Marvel properties that I'm looking forward to, on to number 3, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Now, as I mentioned with Spider-Man, when the trailer for that came out, I did a reaction video to the trailer. I didn't do one to Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 because I looked at that trailer and I went, what exactly am I going to say about this other than it looks like more Guardians of the Galaxy? But in all honesty, that was pretty smart on Disney's part. Because Guardians of the Galaxy was so beloved just for those characters, just for that writing, just for that dialogue, just for that sense of humor, just for that style. And this trailer went, yeah, we're just gonna do that again. Here's the thing though. That's all I kind of want. I just want to revisit these characters. I want to revisit that dialogue, that sense of humor, and that style. I thought it was actually pretty smart on Disney's part to come in here and go, we don't really need a hook. We don't need to explain the plot of the new movie. We don't need to tell you who the villain is of the new movie. We can let all that be a surprise. We can let you just discover that as you go in here. We don't have to reveal anything about this movie because we know you love these characters and you love the last movie so much. All we gotta do is just say, hey, it's more of that. So I'm already excited because, yeah, I won't lie, I kind of just want more of that. But at the same time, it's really cool to go into one of these big, epic, blockbuster movies and not know what the story is going to be. And speaking of things that Disney is doing right in space, at number 2, Star Wars Episode 8. Now, as I mentioned with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, it's pretty darn cool to not know exactly what the story of that movie is going to be, but know, hey man, I'm going to enjoy this. I can just go in there and be surprised. Same thing goes for Star Wars Episode 8. We don't know what the story of this movie is yet. We don't know what's going to happen to Rey. We don't know what's going to happen to Finn and Poe. We don't know if this is going to be set like a year after the last movie or if it's going to pick up right there with Rey holding out the lightsaber. Who knows what's going to happen in this movie, but I had so much fun in that last film. I enjoyed almost everything about that, especially all the brand new characters. And I know a lot of people criticized it because they said, well, yeah, but it just had so much stuff from the previous films. And I agree with you. I did not need another Death Star. That drove me nuts. However, I feel like in episode 7, they came in there and went, yeah, we have to remind people of what Star Wars was. We have to come in here and go, we know how to do these things from the previous Star Wars film, but starting at this point, that's when the story is really going to start to progress. That's when everything is going to start moving forward. It's going to become its own thing. We're going to see these brand new characters grow. We're going to learn more about the mystery of Rey. We're going to see some new threat pop up. You know there's going to be some new villain in there. We're going to find out what happened to Kylo Ren. Is he going to go down an even darker path? What's going to become of him? What's going to become of Finn? The dude had like a lightsaber go through his spine at the end of the last one. I want to know what's going to happen to every single one of these characters. By the way, retroactive spoiler alert for all that stuff that I just said. I'm sure I'll be smart enough to put a spoiler warning before I ruin that film for everyone who hasn't seen it. You know what, screw you. If you have not seen that movie by this point, it's your fault. Okay, now on to number 1, and I know what you're saying. What could be bigger than Spider-Man? What could be bigger than Guardians of the Galaxy? What could be bigger than Star Wars? King Kong. You get it because he's like physically very large? See, I made a size joke there. Okay, I know you're looking at me like I'm crazy. I know a lot of people are excited for this film, but to put it higher than Star Wars, to put it higher than those, hey man, this is just my list. This is the list of stuff that I personally am excited for, and I honestly didn't care about this King Kong film at all, but that first trailer that came out, it actually made me terrified of King Kong. Just that image of him out there up against the sun, like he's a force of nature. That image of the bloody paw print on the sides of the mountain. I have seen a lot of monster movies in my time. I've seen a lot of giant monster movies in my time, and as I started this whole list off by saying I enjoy horror films, but giant monsters never freak me out. Maybe it's just because I looked at them and I was like, yeah, it's a dude in a big rubber suit, or it's a big thing of CGI. It isn't real. This is the first time that I have ever looked at a trailer for a giant monster movie and gone, oh god, I understand now, these creatures are terrifying. If an actual gorilla was that big, it'd be one of the scariest things you could possibly imagine. Something about seeing that paw print against the side of the mountain, it made me realize how disturbing the very idea of King Kong is. So I love that this film is going to embrace that. And even when that second trailer came out and we saw, okay, there's going to be like weird skull monsters on this island, okay, and then we're going to have Wreck-It Ralph over there cracking wise the whole time. I will admit, I looked at that and was like, okay, it's not as good as the first trailer, but I'm still intrigued. This is a whole new territory for this franchise. We've never really had an entire film exploring Skull Island. We've never really had a whole film where King Kong wasn't in love with some lady, or it was not getting to the heart of King Kong, in which he is going to actually be the monster throughout the entire film. And also, we've never had a monster movie or a sci-fi film set during the Vietnam era. Like, that was always off limits. So this is brand new territory for multiple reasons, not just for King Kong and not just for giant monster movies, but just kind of for sci-fi and fantasy and horror films in general. So honestly, that's the main reason why this is number 1 on my list. It's because of how many new things it is doing with this franchise, but also because that trailer was just so darn good. That trailer took something that I had zero expectations for and did an amazing job of just raising the tension and the excitement levels in me to the point in which I just need a steam valve to release it all. Plus, the cast looks amazing in this film. Maybe I'm still just riding high from 10 Cloverfield Lane from last year, but I'm kind of excited about the idea of John Goodman being in another monster movie. Everything about this film has got me excited. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are going to be many other films that I am even more excited about and that I end up enjoying even more than this one, but at this point, in all honesty, that's the one that I am just looking at the calendar and counting the days until. And before anybody in the comments asked, yes, if this movie comes out and it completely bombs and it's terrible, not only will I do a review of it, but I will even include the thing I just said at the beginning of the review, just to let you guys know that I am not afraid to eat some crow on this one. But dang, that trailer looked good. So okay, that's it for my 10 most anticipated films of 2017. Let me know in the comments down below, what are your most anticipated films of 2017? And as I said, I have already made a couple other anticipated videos this week talking about my most anticipated comics and my most anticipated video games coming out in 2017, because here on the Professor Thorgy channel, we cover everything from the world of geekery. So if you want to see any more videos like that, then make sure you click that subscribe button and make sure you follow us on Twitter, Twitch, Tumblr, all the T-word social sites at Professor Thorgy. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Come back next time. Bye.